How's it going, guys? Today I'm going to be setting up this enclosure for some new additions, so I thought I'd bring you guys along to show you how I'm going to be doing it. So the basic plan for this enclosure is a rocky outcrop sort of environment that's more on the dry side but still bioactive. And this will hopefully perfectly suit the needs of the species that's going in here. So because this is going to be a more drier bioactive setup, I'm not really going to put much of a drainage layer in, but what I am going to do is put like a layer of sand down the bottom to hopefully be a little bit of drainage if it's needed, which it probably even won't be. So now on top of the drainage sand we're going to put a layer of sand and soil mix. And this is the main sort of substrate that the lizards are going to be on. So on top of that I just added a final layer, which is basically a 50-50 mix of sandy soil and coir peat. So now we have the base substrate in, it's time to decorate the enclosure, starting with the basking spot. So after playing around for a while with a bunch of different rocks, I finally figured out this little stack here. And something really important for you guys to remember if you're making a sort of rock stack like this is make sure everything is solid and not moving. You don't want anything crushing your animals or falling or anything. You want it to be a solid structure that's not going to be potentially harmful. So yeah, we'll have that, and that's going to be their basking spot where they can have different levels, and they also doubles as a hide. So you can see they can go hide in within the rocks. So that'll be really cool. So I also added in this branch over here, and so now that the basic sort of setup of it is complete, I'm going to add in some leaf litter on the bottom to give it a really good effect, as well as to get the cleanup crew, give them a place to hide, as well as, you know, a good start before I put the animals in. Okay, so now that we have the leaf litter in, I'm going to add in some cleanup crew. This is my big Slater bin, or wood lice. There's also springtails in here as well, so I'm going to put in some of the bark that's in here that has some of them on it, and that will then seed this enclosure. So from there I'm just adding in some plants to give it the final touches of a natural looking environment. So to finish the enclosure off, I added in another hide in the back there, which is just a sort of like a semi-hollow piece of bark on top of a rock. That's just a secondary hide for the animals if they want it, and a few more plants, as well as the water bowl there. And the animals are actually in now. As you can see, here are the mountain heath dragons. They've been loving it in here so far. If you want to see me putting them in the enclosure and getting these animals, please go check out my last video and you'll see it all there. They seem to be doing really good in here so far. They love climbing up the branch, getting under that nice UVB light, as well as the rock stack. And I'm not sure if the hides will actually be necessary now, because now that I've got them in there, I've noticed that they don't really seem to want to hide very much. They're pretty outgoing little dragons, so that's really cool. But it's nice to have options, always give your animals options. And there we have it, that's the tank complete, animals in, everything working great. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks awesome for such a simple setup, because this really is a simple setup. It's just a few rocks and a branch and just some substrate and a few plants to decorate it, you know, and that's all it really has to be. You don't need to make a big complicated enclosure for it to look nice. Sometimes, often, a simple sort of setup looks the best. As long as it's meeting your animal's needs and you can provide them some enrichment, that's all you really need. So maintenance on this tank should be pretty minimal as well, because it's hopefully going to be a working bioactive system, so when the animals make a mess, it'll hopefully self-clean. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it gave you some ideas and inspiration on how to, you know, make a nice little setup for your animals. Make sure you check out my last video and my videos in the future to come to see more on these awesome new additions here I just got. These are some awesome little dragons, as well as seeing the rest of my collection. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.